I always felt that the Indian community, the Native community here in South Minneapolis was where I wanted to hang my hat.
Well, I think Franklin Avenue represents sort of the center of urban Indian activism and the development of a lot of the early Indian service programs.
I believe that that we have the potential, the Native community has the potential to be a force in this community if we choose to stick together, if we choose to help each other, support each other, and look at ways to come together for a common interest.
In my language, we say chokata. And any time there's a center, that's a symbol of who we are. It's a symbol that we have a center. This community needs one.
Franklin Avenue is known all over the country. You know, that's where Indian meets Indian. I mean, that's where it was at one time.
I think if you have a sense of place, you have a better sense of direction. A sense of place actually was already created here hundreds of years ago.
I believe that in its heyday, the bars provided a sense of community, but it left too many people out. It left the elders out, or the people that weren't in the bars, and it especially left the children out.
This is where I met a lot of my friends, because at that time, they did have the bars, which I'm really glad they're gone now, but a lot of Indians that you wanted to meet, you had to come here to meet them.
I mean, going up north to the res, that's your sense of community there. I would like to have that same feeling living in an urban area. And I think that because it was predominantly Native Americans within this neighborhood, I would like to see that come back.
Franklin Avenue did a lot for some of our people. It's brought them in to the cities. It housed them. We used to have stores here.
And we'd run errands, go to Heller's.
Heller's used to be here, Heller's Market.
Heller's Market, where the Coop parking lot is.
Kaplan's used to be here.
Kaplan Brothers.
Go to Kaplan.
Kaplan's, of course.
Kaplan's store was right down the block, and they provided construction clothes and gloves and things like that.
We'd go to Gray's Drug.
On a Gray's Drug Store.
Gray's Drugs, that was the place where you went for your prescriptions around here. You could cash checks there, different things like that,
I remember the Red Owl. We used to shop at the Red Owl all the time.
The Red Owl.
Franklin Fruit.
And Country Club Market was across the street, and we shopped there.
The Corral.
That was the Corral and the Bears Den and Addison's and all of the Bright Spot and all the bars here on Franklin Avenue.
Snyder's Liquor Store right on the corner of Chicago, where where PD Park is.
Used to eat at the Chef. Used to go to the Sparkle.
There was a time where they, worked at removing a lot of what they considered to be ills of the avenue, and was probably good. I don't know at the time if they had a plan for replacing the ills with things that would help the community.
I think for many years, in urban areas in particular, we've focused on outside institutions to tell us what kind of jobs our community should have, to do training outside of our community. We have to take control, I think, of the training and education opportunities within our community and begin to build out our own sector skills and business and development opportunities.
We have to be able to go out and shake somebody's hand and take the time to sit down. What we've seen many times in our community is people skipping that one piece. It's vital and it's critical. They haven't taken the time to come into our community, or we haven't taken the time to go into theirs, to sit down and engage each other in relationship building. We haven't done that as adequately as we should have. But I think that if we do more and more, I think that that kind of partnership can develop out of there. People will see us who we really are, and we could see them for who they really are.
I think more small businesses on the avenue would give more pride to all Indians, and it would have a place for them to hang out, a place for them to shop. And most communities of color, they do have a central place for their people to go. But I would like to see the corridor develop so that all cultures feel comfortable coming to Native-owned businesses.
I believe it's vital to the community to make a stand and to put a footprint in a location that has been part of our urban history for decades.
Well, the geographical community will continue to develop, whether we develop it or not. Somebody will develop it.
And I think it's important that we recognize that and that we move it to the next level.
This culture corridor can be inspired by everything that we've ever done, as long as we infuse in this corridor those very same inspirations that we've had for thousands of years in one way or another. And it has to be modern, of course, but yet I think that we still have that indigenous knowledge to incorporate those pieces of knowledge into this culture corridor.
I am fully in agreement with moving from a support-based, service-based community to a success-based community.
It would be nice to see more than just craft shops, you know, beaded jewelry, that type of thing, you know. I mean, just more sort of mainstream business that we run, and that's unique to us.
A Native theater, maybe, you know, live performances.
Like a hair salon or, you know, pedicures for the women, you know, someplace they can go and do their thing and, you know, feel comfortable. And that's a big part of it, is feeling comfortable.
But my thing is, you know, I'd never want to see this avenue go away from being part of the Indian community.
If we don't have leadership existing within our organizations that are not willing to take a risk, where's that going to leave us? We're just a bunch of buildings, hopefully getting $1 and hopefully brightening one person's life. We can't think of it as a one. We can't think of it as this is mine. We have to, excuse me, we have to think of it as this is for everybody. This is for our people. This can't be just my single thought.